Welcome back to another episode of Plan Voodoo. I'm your host Derek, and today I'll be recapping episode 5 of Australian Survivor Heroes vs. Villains. Now, for those of you that are unfamiliar with this style of content, I'll be going through the top 5 moments of the episode, giving my take on what happened. Let's get straight to it. At number 5, so I brought this up on my last recap. Again, Jonathan noted, this is verbatim, Simon continued to believe he had the protection of a real immunity idol right at the top of the episode, within 15 seconds of the episode airing. And yeah, like I pointed out last episode, he seems to be correct in his prediction that what Simon found in the cookie jar is not a true immunity idol. And now I am 100% convinced that is also the case. I also did not mention last episode, but I saw it in episode 4, that Simon's name next to where you would see an immunity idol next to his name had that, but it also had a red X through it, which leads me to believe that what Simon currently holds is not a hidden immunity idol, but rather it is somewhat like a beware advantage that we're seeing within US Survivor. So Australian Survivor is known for putting clues for advantages and or having the advantages in their rewards, and having a player find such advantage, it's a double-edged sword. I kind of get what production is doing from that standpoint now, that you better be careful where you're looking, because you might find your hand in the cookie jar, as pun intended, as they might say. So that's my fifth moment. That's number 5 for the episode. At number 4 has to be life at camp, from what we saw from both the Villains tribe and the Heroes tribe. So back at the Villains tribe, we see Jordy. We kind of get the Joker, what he's thinking about, sees how the numbers are split between the Villains tribe. George has the girls, while the rest are with Simon and Jordy. However, Jordy wants to make sure that he's on George's good side, and that at least if maybe Simon is targeted first out of that foursome, that Jordy is in George's good graces. So they create just some small chat about if their names come up, to let each other know moving forward, just keep their names out of the voting. So that's something to keep an eye on. We'll see. I do like the way Jordy's playing compared to Simon, because as Jordy noted, Simon is being quite demanding around camp, like building the shelter and such, and social awareness is not all the way there, I guess, in a sense. And I enjoy the Villains camp, and I think the Joker is gonna go far. We'll see. Additionally, back at the Heroes camp, we see Ben. Now, Ben's name was thrown out there, didn't receive votes on episode 4 when the Heroes went to their first tribal council. However, he announces pretty much in front of everybody, hey, do you have this skull thing? Because I'm going to make a fake immunity idol. Why? Do you tell people you're going to make a fake immunity idol? One, that tells you that tells them that you're thinking about the game. You're very, very aware of what's going on. You're trying to be deceptive. I just don't understand how that's smart on his part. Maybe you could do that one-on-one with someone, but you don't do that out in front of everybody. Doesn't seem like the right move. I understand he's probably going to make a fake to try to dupe the villains, but it just looks bad. It's very sneaky, and I I don't understand what Ben's doing, to be honest. Moving on to my number 3 moment of the episode. So the challenge for the advantage is for bakery food. And man, oh man, George, he's the star of the challenge for me. He did really well. It was really cool seeing him throw, and it brought me back to US Survivor. Could imagine a lot of people would want someone like Chris Noble as another tribe as part of this challenge. Probably not someone like War Dog, as we've seen in both of their seasons. It's a fun challenge. Nothing too crazy. Very cheap from a production aspect. Can really recreate it pretty easily. I did enjoy that, but the part that I enjoyed the most, which is why it's my number 3 moment, they get back to camp. There's a scroll attached to some bamboo. The reader of the scroll gets to choose who gets to eat what bakery item. So they do not get to share every single food item from the reward, but rather only one person gets to eat one thing. And yeah, it's quite the dynamic. I do enjoy the aspect of people having to pick people for things. That's what I enjoy most about Survivor. It can create rifts like we've seen with family visits, in which if you don't choose the right person, that could burn your game. So I do enjoy the aspect of choosing certain people for rewards and what they do get to eat, because it does show, it might show where your cards align. And I think it did for Sam, because he gave Ben one of the least favorable food items, that being a mini meat pie. And yeah, that's how I kind of saw it. Additionally, Sam gave David the big chocolate cake. And as we all know from the previous episodes, Sean, David, Sam, and even Matt on the Fringe are kind of working together, the Boys Alliance. And Sean sees Sam's loyalty as a fault. Taking David, why would you give someone that you're possibly targeting, and Ben, one of the worst food items? That doesn't make sense. You want to lull them into a false sense of security. So yeah, I agree with Sean in that aspect. I think Sam's not playing the best game, and I'll get more into that why in some of these moments that I'm going to bring up. So now at number 2 for the episode, my favorite moment was Sean again deciding that he's misread this whole situation of how they should handle Haley moving forward. I think he realizes that he's a big threat. He's massive, and that you need to keep big threats around to make yourself perceived as a smaller threat. And you know who else is a big threat? Haley, the only winner on this season of Australian Survivor. So Sean sees that and now wants to keep Haley as a shield, at least moving forward, probably get her out around the merge, if not pre-merge. We also see him discuss that with Flick. Flick obviously played with Haley on their one season together. Australian Survivor brains are spawns. So it makes sense for those two, the returnees. They're big targets to want to keep Haley around. That's something to keep an eye on. We'll see how that dynamic plays out moving forward. I anticipated actually getting to the merge, but only time will tell. And now to get to the spicy part, the number one moment of the episode. Jonathan reveals mid-tribal council that whoever is voted out will be sent to the villains tribe. However, if they survive 2 days, which I'm assuming is one tribal council, they will be returning to the heroes tribe. Now, this is very interesting. So as a Survivor fan, I'm of the mindset once you get voted out, your game's done. However, I do enjoy this fun aspect of Survivor, how Australians turning this, because the person going over there could be acting for reconnaissance for the heroes tribe, get information, bring it back. But on the other edge of the sword, they could decide to work with the villains tribe and just flip on the heroes tribe once they get back. And yeah, it's quite the dynamic. So with that in mind, we see Paige willing to volunteer herself, saying that she'll be trustworthy. She's very personable. We'll get to know everybody. And Sam, like I mentioned, him making poor decisions, says he's against that decision to vote Paige to go there, because he would rather send someone that they're willing to lose. You do not say that out loud. You do not say that out loud. Essentially, he's saying, whoever we send, we don't want you here anyways. So if you go over there and then you get voted out, oh well, it is what it is. I just don't understand why Sam, you don't say that out loud. You don't say that out loud. So we ended up seeing Jerry get voted out, and Jerry can only assume that Sam was talking about him. I would hope that Jerry sees that and takes the opportunity to work with the villains rather than the heroes, because as Sam said in his own words, you send someone over there you are willing to lose. So Jerry, you are now a villain on Australian Survivor Heroes vs. Villains. That wraps up my top 5 moments of the episode. Yeah, this was fun. We're going to be doing a weekly recap at the end of the week with Alex. And yeah, stay tuned for that. We will be covering 4 and 5 again a bit. I'll be asking him questions, and then we'll be recapping episode 6. So stay tuned for that. Make sure to follow us on Twitter at PlanVoodooPod. Comment down below. Did the heroes make the right move in voting out Jerry, or should they have voted out someone else? Let me know. We appreciate you guys listening. This is Plan Voodoo, where split vote is not safe.